Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Hey, Occur Zebra 52. Welcome. Let me go ahead and just. Um, Actually, I gotta take a bit of a break. Sorry, I got an important call. Sorry, I got this. My Sony rep just emailed me, so we might have to. I might have to take a quick call. Um, Sorry about that, guys. Okay, we're back. Thank you guys for being so patient. That was my contact from Sony, and lots of man, today's been a really fucking good day. Just so I don't know if I can talk about what we just discussed, but it's good. I yeah, I don't want to talk about that stuff, but good stuff. And yeah, that was like he texted me like literally at exactly 3 p.m. and I was like, he's like, yeah, can we talk now? And but hello everyone. So sorry about kind of taking the first 10 minutes away, but that was a super important call with Sony, and yeah, lots of good stuff. I will share with you guys stuff about that when I know I am allowed to. Other than that, some other news. So that's awesome, man. There's gonna be yeah. I don't want to talk about it just because I don't know some like legal stuff. I don't want to get myself in trouble, but you know, I think on the stream there's gonna be a lot of in terms of production, there probably won't be a lot of surprises. You guys will know when I've got kind of big stuff coming up. So I might be doing a lot of traveling in June. July, you know, we got this new programmer coming on board. We'll be starting at the end of May 23rd. I also will kind of got some stuff set up with Valve, with Steam. So we're gonna have a Steam page up soon that you guys can add the game to your wish list. What else is exciting? So yeah. Oh right, and also I am, for those of you that don't know about this, I'm speaking at Kill Screen Festival. Anyway, the gist of it is that Sony likes the game. They really like the game, and but yeah, this is super cool because the Kill Screen Festival, Nina Freeman's gonna be there, and also Rand and Robin Miller made a little game many years ago, Myst. Of course, Rami is there. He's at all of these. Jake Elliott. So I'm really looking forward to kind of meeting everyone, and maybe I will ask Danielle how to use Tumblr, because I've got a Manifold Garden backgrounds where I post pictures of desktops with Manifold Garden wallpapers. There's me. And I'm also speaking at the Taipei Game Developers Forum in July, so quite busy. Lots of events coming up. Major idea. I won't confirm or deny anything. Let me go ahead and post on Twitter. Let everyone know that we are now live. This is very, very cool. So Kelly, Chris from Indie Mega Booth. Hey, Dan Adelman is there. Okay, cool. And me. This is funny because it's the same picture. But hey, Clake69, Lidzel. Anyway, let's go back to work today. So thanks everyone for stopping by. So lots of stuff happening moving forward. I think it's all very, very exciting. And also I'm going to be busy as hell. What's on today's menu? So, okay, that's a good today. Well, we'll be making coffee at 4. But so I got some stuff working. We're going to be continuing working with this. I was hoping to kind of get a whole lot more work done yesterday, but I kind of between emails. Any chance you'll be selling through GOG? You know, I haven't talked to GOG, so GOG is really interesting. So, okay, and the other thing too that's coming up is we're going to start doing beta testing through itch.io. Now, like, I really like itch.io. I think what they're doing is really great. I mean, obviously, I love. Why do I have another phone call from an Illinois number? Everybody's just calling me at when I start the stream. I don't know what's happening. So let's see here. GOG is interesting because they actually are like, okay, no, wait, itch.io first. So I like itch.io, what they're doing. I think it's super great that there's like expanding the ecosystem. Obviously, I love Steam. I buy 99.5% of my games on Steam. I don't think that's even an exaggeration. I think I probably have like close to 100 games on Steam and like 2 games on itch.io. But why not beta through Steam? Because I do want to. So itch is super great. They like really want to work with indies and help support them. And we're gonna set up like a kind of an A/B testing or like a group testing system, which you cannot do on Steam. Like people have to kind of drop down on that. And obviously the game will be on Steam. I'm setting up a Steam page so people can add it to their wish list. But I think itch has some very exciting tools for beta testing that I want to try out. And I think I just want to, I think it'd be great to support them. And it's not quite early access because it'll be super closed. But I think with Steam, like you don't want to do early access because it ends up, I think your early access launch ends up being your launch. But itch can is sort of outside of that and can let me have like a bigger playtesting pool without making it feel like it's my stream launch. But yes, that is a good question. Steam does work very well, and now back to GOG though. So GOG is very interesting because you have like a number of different stores. Like you've got like Steam, you've got Humble, you've got GOG, and you have itch.io now on for the PC market. And I think GOG is actually one of the few that are actually has a sizable market for Steam. I think they have like a very dedicated audience. Hey, Anti-Pixel Studios and Jet User, hello. By the way, Jet User, huge thanks to Jet User yesterday. He showed me, did like a debug tool, so using watches, setting breakpoints, checking out multiple threads. What is this? Okay, buy on GOG. So yeah, I want to talk to GOG. Okay, I'm not sure what the hell's... I'll try not to... I don't know why everybody's been calling me at this time. But GOG is very cool. The really thing about itch that's awesome is you can kind of set... They have really friendly terms for the percentages. Like, you can do all of it go to you, or like 10% or 30%. It's really nice. Hey, Anti-Pixel, thank you for staying up. And then finally, some other news is, but yeah, like I said, there's sort of lots of stuff happening. I'm super excited. I think the last month was pretty rough with the personnel change, and it was a bit of a confidence blow for me, because I felt like sort of we were finally getting on track, and then it kind of feel like I got derailed. And a lot of time was taken away on not working on the game and kind of doing other stuff. But things are going great with Sony. Things are happening with Steam. Things are, in terms of the team for the game, that's all kind of getting back on track again. Streaming has been very helpful, kind of having a regular community here and being able to kind of test out ideas and share this process has been really wonderful. So, Anti-Pixel Studios, Australia, wow. I'll try to stream. Australia's tough. That's like exactly the opposite But hopefully on weekends I'll try to stream in the mornings. But that's awesome. Thank you for stopping by. Really, really appreciate it. By the way, if you are watching the stream and if you're enjoying it, you should definitely follow the channel. So I want to talk about, we've got this light up now. And what I want to say, so that's kind of cool. Now there's a few things here that I want to discuss. So I've decided that the best way to sort of work on this, so right, we got this chain and we have these ends on these pieces that you can light up and move around. Right, and it's like, so if this is lit up and then this thing moves down, it needs to get connected. Now the problem, so the way these lines work is we set up the next one, right? So, right, this tells it, the next one is line mesh 1, like I have to sort of set that up, manually connect them. What's happening here is that these end up being dynamically connected. So you can, if you move it away, it breaks the connection. If you touch it together, it sets up the connection. Then there's also the other tricky thing, which is that the direction it moves in matters. So from here, in this case, we are going from, excuse me, you put the box here and then it travels to this, right? So that means then the light is going to light up from here to here, but it can, so it's like, it doesn't work when you are just like, this is next after that, right? You can't just light up the next one, because if then you're lighting up from here, this doesn't actually have a next when you have only a single direction. So it needs to know, so we got like previous and next setup, and then it kind of goes back and forth and redefines it. So what else do I want to talk about? Oh, and I also applied for a partnership with Twitch, so who knows? That might, we'll see how that goes. Okay, so I think the key here is that what I have now is these ends, they can be either a provider or a receiver. A provider means that it's providing electricity. So if a provider is lit up and a receiver touches it, then the receiver gets lit up too. If they break away, the receiver gets turned off and not the provider. And this is important because what we have is, I've got this thing called on trigger enter. So when they, and both of them have the collider box where things can enter. And when they enter, what happens is, I had the thing previously where it was like, it would call the next one. So this is the other line, though. This is like, okay, if we have the trigger, the other one that comes in, that gets placed as the next of this one. So like, if I'm 1 and 2 comes in, my next is 2 and 2's previous is 1. Right? The problem though is when you're not distinguishing whether it's a provider or a receiver, both of them are doing that. So like, one is setting its next to 2, 2 is setting its next to 1, and 1 is, right? And it's like both of them are trying to do, it's like, it's funny because with my Sony rep, when he called, I called him, we both ended up calling each other at the same time, and we both ended up going to voicemail. So, right, only one person can do the calling, and this is what's happening here. So like, this one can be the provider, that one's got to be receiver, and the provider makes the call. What's really great then is it also sets up the directionality, because if I know that all of a sudden I am now the receiver, right? Then, like, if this is the provider, then I'm the receiver, then I know, like, that's the other direction that it needs to go in. And then what's really cool is, so this also means then that, like, I have to manually indicate, like, the first provider has to be manually set. So, yeah, man, that was a really, really great call with Sony. I'm super happy with the way things are going here. let's go ahead and get that set up. So this is on. This means it's on and interlockable, which means that it's basically saying that it can be bidirectional. So let's set that up here. Good solutions for UI, except, well, doesn't like Unity 5 have its own built-in UI? Check out ImGUI if you're not using Dear ImGUI. Omar wrote it. It's really good. Oh, okay, that should be lighting up. I'm not sure why that isn't. What is my background as a programmer? I did some Perl in college. I was working at a genetics lab. They had a lot of text files. Like the genetic data would come in as these like large text files, and you just have different columns. But then sometimes like it came in a slightly different format than your code, and you needed like 1 in front of all the numbers. So I'd go in and add 1, write Perl scripts. Not the best programming language to start with. I worked using Java at a linear accelerator lab in Italy for a while, and then also have now, and then but really I ended up working at a studio in Toronto making science museum exhibits using C++ open frameworks, and that's kind of where I got things started. We're going to break out the new debugging ninja skills. Well, first I think it's actually just an issue with the things not lighting up. So not quite. See, that's I unchecked. That should be a provider. But yes, we are going to start using that. It shouldn't be slow. It's working well. I started off doing C++, and with open frameworks, that's really just like a wrapper for a lot of low-level stuff. So I had to learn like OpenGL, and I hated it. I hated how low-level it was, but so like using Unity was kind of great because you can focus on high-level stuff. But all that low-level knowledge is super, super helpful. In fact, I was talking to a student earlier before this stream. She wanted to be she was one of the people that applied, and I was like, hey, you're still a student, so that's not what I'm looking for, but if you have questions, I'd be happy to sort of discuss, like, what's, I'd be happy to talk about to kind of answer questions if you have about going to the industry. And she wanted to be a programmer, and I was saying you should definitely, like, it's interesting because her school just has her doing things in Unity, and I was like, you should definitely make sure to, I was like, she still had 2 years left, so I was saying she should like write her own engine from scratch, or I think that seems like it would be such a great experience. By the way, I was listening to that really, really wonderful conversation Jonathan Blow and Brian Moriarty. I think Garlando Bloom here recommended. And it's a really interesting conversation. John, actually, I'm going to post it in the chat. That's a conversation with Jonathan Blow and Brian Moriarty. You should listen to it after the stream, obviously. But John talks about how he's like 2%, there's like 2% people who cannot imagine pictures in their head. And he's one of them. Like, he was talking about how he read the article, and he was like, people can imagine things in their head, like pictures, which is, so that was very interesting. It is a lot of work, but I think as a student, I think students have that luxury of time, I think. But also, I do think it would be really, really. I mean, a lot of stuff we're doing with Unity now is like super low level. Hey, Garrett, how's it going? I did a kind of rendering on a little, totally worth it. Yeah, I mean, I just think if you want to be, I know, and I've talked to people, like, if you want to go work at a big studio, you know, as a programmer, you gotta know C++. Like, you can't just be like, I made a games and exactly Ray March. That's it, right? So I was right about what I recommended. Cool. Is that Ray March? Is that at a game studio? But yeah, guys, I'm super fucking stoked. Steam. Lots of talks. You got the team. I'm super excited about the game, and no, it's researching at a big car manufacturer, Tesla. Okay, we'll see if this works. Oh shit! Yes! Yes! Guys, God. Oh shit. Hey, my friend from high school, I have a friend from high school who works at Tesla. It's pretty cool. I was like, hey, is that really cool? When I was like, hey, is that really cool? You know, are people impressed? He's like, they're not as. He's like, people are more impressed when you say you drive a Tesla. Dude, it worked. I thought it was going to be a lot more complicated than that, but yes, I will. Let me talk a bit more about what's happening. But we basically got the line connected. So there's still a lot of different work to do, but let's go ahead and start setting this up. So I really hurt my shoulder. This is actually kind of so. You know, I've been going to the gym pretty regularly since the beginning of this year, and it's been really great. Definitely, if you're working on a long-term project, you should definitely get exercise. That's very helpful. So I end up sitting at the computer quite a bit. Now the thing is, I was have been quite stressed out this past month, and when I'm stressed, like I end up getting really tense. And I also started playing Bloodborne and was just like very tense for a long time. And I think what I ended up doing was like injuring my shoulder a bit. But yeah, now it like kind of gets a bit gnumish when working, but I can't bench press at the moment. But I was reading online and I think I need to do like rotator cuff exercises. So anyway, I'm making sure to like move my shoulder around regularly. So don't mind me when I start doing that. This physical interface with the digital world. So now what we should see in this one. Okay, so I don't know. I don't think this is going to work. Because it's not setting that as the provider. So ideally what should happen is it should keep lighting up a whole chain. I don't think that is going to happen now. Oh man, ho 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 hoo ho. Thank you for following. Really appreciate it. So yeah, I've got notifications set up so now I can see when people follow. But yeah, and yeah, if you enjoy the stream, you should definitely follow. Help me grow the channel. Really, really appreciate it. Oh fuck. And also, let me know of the different kinds of content that you guys want to see on the stream. So you know, I kind of pretty much do everything here, but yeah, let me know if you guys. I don't know if you guys sort of prefer the level design stuff or programming or the kind of the business production side. The business production side kind of happens. I talk about that as I'm working. If you're watching, you should probably take the time to stretch a bit. It's really just my right shoulder. I think it's also from using the mouse a lot, but I don't want to. Yikes. All right, major idea, but what about programming? Programming is like instead of the training montage we just showed you, that's programming is the boring stuff, but it's let's see here. Sonox3, thank you for the follow. Okay, so what is going to happen now is like, because this block is going to move down. Okay, so see that's a problem, right? So it's not. It should connect. This is what should happen now, and I know pretty much what's happening, which is that it's not indicating which one is the provider, which one is the receiver. So, oh no, broke all your file path. Uh-oh. Super confusing anyway, but it's, I try to, you know, with the programming, I try to explain what I'm doing as much as possible, and it's actually, for me, I kind of need that too. So I think what's happening right now, and if this is quite clear, actually, you know what, Jet User, so this is something interesting. So Jet User showed me all these debug tools, but the problem is you can't see, Okay, so first, hey, Goggle Fox, yeah. So on the, it needs to know, so this is what we need to know. Ah, you're watching from a phone. Yes, I can totally understand. So what's happening is we need to know, yeah, the thing is, it's like I would do level design, but right now it's like I need to get this level done before I can move on to the others. So that ends up as an indie, it's like the game is so interconnected. Like this level, this line needs to get working because I need to finish designing that level because I need to know what the pacing is there before I can move on to the other ones. So we'll call it the other line end. And so this is important because what it needs to know is like if this one, so basically if this gets connected, right, this is a receiver, now this becomes the provider. So like it needs to get set up that, so I need to pair them. And there's probably a way you can do them like, you don't have to, right now where I'm setting it up so I have to like manually assign things. Oh God. God, my shoulder is really bothering me. Okay, so what happens is like if this one, if it's a provider and the other one is on an interlockable, then another line has entered, and then that one will become, so if the well, I might have to set an appointment with the doctor. Or maybe I'll just take a day off from coding. So basically when it lights up, so the other line, you know what, it needs to be the other line end. That's a little bit more. Other line end. So the other line end dot is provider equals to true, and then the no is false because that one they're the receiver. This is not, this should be like opposite line end. This is going to get really fucking confusing. Opposite line end. So the opposite line end, the other line end's opposite line end is provider is true. think this is going to work. Yes. Programming is fun once when you know what you're doing. By the way, how's everyone's day going? It's been yeah, it's been really fun for me. I'm kind of yeah, stoked to have kind of gotten a lot of things. Like, there was also some claims on my insurance, and I had to deal with that, and that got taken care of, so that's good. It's kind of like moving forward with a lot of things that's very exciting for me. Yeah, and I'm just stoked that the game feels like it's doing well. Production feels like it's going along well. So, but again, that's also one thing I want to be careful of, is to not have my daily moods be so connected with how the game is going, because the game, there's gonna have ups and downs, and you shouldn't try to be too emotionally dependent on that. But it's hard, you know, it's what I do every day, right? So it's hard to separate that. But I do think whenever possible, you should try to do that. Okay, you know what? I can probably set this up, but I think I can set this up manually. Why do I not use Windows 10? I have Windows 10 on my laptop. You know, I was just using Windows 7, and I don't want to update and lose a bunch of stuff. Like, I'm really happy with the workflow I've got, so I will probably update to Windows 10 eventually, but I want to wait until, like, just this project is done. You know, we got like the PlayStation SDK and all that. I know it probably is fine, but it's just I'm just like in the middle of this project, and I don't want to screw around with that. But LA Watson, hey, hello. Hey, haven't seen you here in a while. So let's see here. Rain Marts has been making some music but failed. Just gotta keep at it. Major Idea Day's going well. Did a bunch of programming on your game and have to deal with a ton of new bugs. Don't we all? Fixing build scripts today. Oh God, what a nightmare. Like, I'm realizing also you can just set it up manually on one of them, but nah, forget it. Just joined a few times to see what was going on inside the editor, but never interested enough to talk. Never interested enough to talk. That is a giant movie. I think these are actually polynomiinoes, because I think Tetramino is only supposed to have like 4 things or something. Come on. funny video for Twitter. Oh, you are Ricardo. I think I've seen your you posted on some of the YouTube page. Yes, we saw this. Not too sure I'm following what's happening. It looks cool though. Yeah, Major Idea, I think you were talking about having some of the, been listening to the archives of the streams as you've been working. Glad to hear that. Get component dot. But has anybody here had issues with their shoulder from using the mouse? I might try using a normal mouse instead of a trackball. Okay. We ended up... I put this giant wall for this to stop at, and I ended up putting myself on the other side of it. Bunch of AIs trying to do something, some flying off for no apparent reason. Oh, that's good. Man, like I wish more devs stream. I want to see the Hello Games guys stream, man. There's like, it's such a shame because I'm sure there's so much amazing tech happening with that game. Okay, we are going to. Okay, not working. The opposite line end has not been assigned. The debug tools they use for No Man's Sky? Where have you seen that? Have they streamed? Have they shown that stuff? Like, I just think it would be so amazing. They'd have, like, such a massive following, too. Hey, CMD NASCAR. Thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. Oh, I know what's happening. It's because I don't actually have triggers on these. Oh, no, wait, I do. Interesting. Okay, why is this not lighting up? Oh, I see. This is happening. So I know. So it's like if you have the thing, so this is a problem, right? Where it's like that thing doesn't, it's not lighting up when it comes in. So it needs to, like, I bet if I had that thing set up before that, so we're just sort of implementing things in kind of like a kind of a nasty way, and but like I bet if I have that, because that's getting added to the delegate, I bet like if I do this, I bet if I light it up now, that's going to work. Yeah, you see? I knew it. I'm a genius. When I say I'm a genius, I don't actually mean I'm a genius. But yeah, so like basically the delegate, it's saying, this is actually kind of interesting. Right, so we have this thing called tis on fill other line end dot internal activate. So like this is what the hell is, can I navigate to the symbol? Okay, right. So it's a delegate. Just prove the Riemann hypothesis. Nah, that's too easy. I already did it. It's okay. I'm amongst geniuses. Right, so it needs to be like if it's already. Aha! Yes, yes, yes. See, this is it. Hey, Jake. So it actually was basically there. I think, who wrote this code? I think it was David. Good job, David. Lolly Watson. Lolly Watson, have we met in person before? Oh. What's today's session about? Okay, hey, Ompuko, hello. Jacket A. Give me just a second. By the way, I just want to post something for my buddy Sean Hogan and Joni Kataka, but they've got a new Even the Ocean trailer animated, which I think actually is very, very lovely. Oh, right, I should. I think this video is playing at like 2x speed, which is what I'd normally watch. I see some crazy. So yeah, what's happening here is we have this like line connection. So on these giant tetromino blocks, I call them interlockables because they interlock with one another. They can fall in opposite directions, like red, green, this way. So you can, by the way, that's like indicates the direction. So you can see that's a yellow, green piece. The arrows on there also help. They still need some graphic design work. But they've got these lines that can form like, they're sort of like wires. You can pass electricity through them. So the puzzle here is you got to connect them up in certain ways so that you can like light up stuff. And we're just trying to work out the programming logic for that. So, and the code right now is super messy, but I'm just trying to kind of get it to work. And I'm not sure why I'm being, oh, there we go. Jacket A, hello, how are you doing today? Ompuko, LA Watson. I got a good crowd here today. Ugh. Super messy is the normal state of your code. Oh, one of my favorite streamers has just started streaming. We should do a raid later. But anyway, let's get this working now. We should see this. I want this to move in as is. So eventually we're gonna like, basically what happened is you light up this box here and you've got a door. And there's sort of, there's kind of a gap missing, and you can use these to kind of set up the line. These also act as bridges. There's sort of a whole bunch of reasons why you'd want to use them. And it is time to make some coffee. Okay, so now we had it working. So like, let's light this up, right? And you can see that is now connected. So what I want to do is I'm going to rotate onto the yellow direction. That thing should slide down. Oh, come on. What is... Oh, why is... Okay, for some reason this keeps getting... Is this called like deserialized? You guys have seen me put the opposite line down and it keeps ending up getting disconnected. Jesus, 1393 lines long. All right. What the fuck? What does internal activate do? Hey, what is does anyone know why I'm getting this? Can I navigate to the symbol under the caret? Okay, I'm a little bit confused about why this guy is not lighting up. Um, right, because it should, if it's already lit up. Okay. Hola, Wyatt. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Might need to make some coffee soon. I did apply for Twitch partnership. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I was on another stream and I kind of talked to them about applying, and they were like, yeah, you should just do it. It doesn't hurt. Worst they can say is no. Okay, I don't understand why do I keep getting this thing where it keeps telling me that my opposite end is not set. Like, is it why? Like, why does this keep deserializing? Does anybody know what's happening here? This happens like all the time, and it ends up being pretty annoying. Well, I haven't gotten it, but we'll see. Oh, fucking works now. Hey, Pencode! Thank you for following. Really appreciate it. How's it going, Pencode? Why is this drawing this line? Huh? What are you doing? Oh man, maybe I should set an appointment to get a massage. My right arm shoulder is killing me. AFSSX, thank you. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I keep wanting to say welcome to the Clark Tank, and then I realize that is not my slogan. That's Ryan Clark's. Hey, Danbo IP, welcome. Thank you for the follow. So this thing is kind of cool. It's basically, it doesn't let me place it anywhere unless it's like aligned. AFSSX. Do we ever come up with a good catchphrase? So, I guess like since Clark Tank is based on Shark Tank, there's cheer factor, but it doesn't sound as good as like, I don't know. Welcome to the Manifold. You got serialized. Yeah, kind of. We'll keep brainstorming. Welcome to the garden, Evergreen. That's not bad. It just Clark Tank sounds so good. I think it's that you know they said there was that's like companies like naming having their name with a K at the end. So like Kodak, because it just like it sounds really good. Clark Tank. It's not fair. He's got 2 Ks. Alright, so what should happen here? We're gonna keep testing this. Hey, Danbo IP, I really like the game today. Thank you, awesome. I'm really glad to hear that. Alright, so this is what we are going to do. Here's a little test. Yeah. Right, but Shark Tank is big enough that that's okay. Okay, so here's an interesting experiment. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to take this line. Where is this thing? Come on. Get over here. That's that. This is going to be connected to that. And then this. Okay. So what should happen now? It's Cheer Garden. I just got cheer factor, fear factor. How long have I been working on it? 3.5 years. Yeah, cheer factor isn't as good. Demonic salesman. Hello. New level. Yes. Googlik. The Shark Tank. Lon Cherny. Welcome to the cheer factor. No, maybe I'll just say welcome to the Clark Tank, which is like, it's even more confusing than Ryan Clark saying the Clark Tank, because first of all, it's like, that's his catchphrase, and that's not my last name. Okay, so where the hell did the box go? Oh right, we moved it away. So, okay, so here, let's bring this back here now. Okay, and actually, as another idea, what we'll do is just place like a really small version So this is like a platform for us to rotate onto. So what we should see here, we're kind of placing a bunch of platforms so that it's like I don't have to walk very far to change gravity. But this guy's gonna start here, so we're gonna have to rotate. So we're gonna light this up, move it here, and what we're gonna do after this, we're gonna set up a connection. Oh man, such good news. I don't think I can share now, but yes, it's a follow-up to the conversation I had with my Sony rep, and June is going to be a very, very freaking busy month for me. My God, I'm flying to a lot of places. Holy shit. But very, very exciting. Very, 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 very exciting. Top tier. Hey, that's a good one. Oh man, this is good. Yeah, big stuff with Sony. They've been wonderful. PlayStation 4 is awesome. Go buy one so that we can do Bloodborne PvP. I actually had my first multiplayer experience. Like, there's a level in Bloodborne, not Tokyo Game Show. There's a level in Bloodborne where they just get you set up with someone. Oh god damn, there's so much work to do. Okay, I need to send out a bunch of emails tomorrow. No Man's Sky debug tools video. You just got manifolded. Oh, behind the scenes tour. Oh, I saw this. Yeah. Yeah. Don't you think this would be amazing though if Sean just streamed for an hour every week, and it would be so sick.
Use like Unreal or use Unity or whatever. That wasn't really suitable for us. We wrote our.
Although the thing is, I doubt you'd be able to actually have. Oh, and Game Informer, keep an eye out for maybe next month's issue. That's pretty exciting. So, by the way, the Hello Game guys, they're familiar with Manifold. They're fans of the game. The thing is, it would just feel. I just feel like they'd have so many people watching it that the chat would be. It would be kind of hard to have like a real conversation happening, but oh man, I love that color. Yes! Oh, so good. Look at that. That is so good. That looks so sick. That actually looks really cool. That looks fucking sick, dude. Cheer of Destiny. What? Welcome. Somebody follow. So you can practice saying these phrases. Achievement unlocked. Cool. Okay, here's the real test though. What we're gonna do. This is where things get like crazy. This is where, and I'll show you why things get very, very difficult. But, man, I'm having such a fucking great day today. Yeah, kind of got things set up with Steam. Yesterday was the first time I went to the gym in a very, very long time. So my shoulder still hurts, but it's good to kind of get that going. And get that happening again. You know, has Twitch ever influenced any puzzle design? Not puzzle design, because I don't talk about the puzzles themselves. Oh, I suppose the when we were doing the water tutorial level, water teaching levels, that one I showed on the stream. But that one's like not so much a puzzle. I was like, hey, is this a confusing way of talking about this? More, because yeah, so I don't talk about the puzzles themselves. But Twitch definitely, I mean, streaming here has definitely had a lot of impact on like level design and like visual design. You know, because it's like, hey, is visually, is that communicating the right thing? If not, why not? So oh, and I also, the hello guys, I also think they seem like super cool people, and it would just be kind of cool to like hang out and talk to them on the stream. Is that cool looking? Yeah. Okay. Hey, major idea. Well, I wish you all the best with your meeting tomorrow. Tell them I say hi. All right. All the best with your all-nighter. Get some coffee. And I actually do need a little bit more coffee as well. It's a long day, so we're gonna take a we're gonna do the coffee break thing and make some coffee. So today, let me do the full screen camera, but all right. Chirp Radio Morning Mix, Dark Matter. It's still coffee time. This is a cookie jar. It's actually, the kind of cool thing is that's in the show Peep Show, which I really love. It's a British comedy, and JLB credit. It's one of the characters works at that company. As you can see, I'm a huge fan of the show. Alright, my grinder. Using the old French press. I am going to get, a bunch of people offered suggestions. Apparently this is not the best grinder if you're using a French press. So I will look into getting one. Or maybe not, because this one has been just fine. Weekdays at 4:30 p.m. Central. Don't forget Juliet Child accent. Oh man, you know what we should do? We should do coffee with Chris Walken. So, wait, let me raise the... I should do coffee time with Chris Walken. He's like, well, hello, everyone. I here have a grinder, and I gotta grind the coffee, you know. This French press I got from my grandfather. He gave it to me when he was a young man. Hey, that makes no sense. Oh wait. First, you have to get the little bits out of the grinder. Right. Proceed to make a mess. Glad this is going to be archived. Yes. No more French press now, just French sludge. Is the coffee sticking inside the grinder? If the coffee is sticking inside the grinder, it's too fine. Interesting. Of course, just like programming, I'm doing everything wrong. Right. Now, as always, fill that up to about halfway, and I guess we can get back to working. We'll let that sit for about 4 minutes. Backseat coffee making. Cheeraddle, Chicago is all right. Now let's get back to the scene. You're making coffee butter. Garrett sent me that Vine. Do I know if anyone has completed a fully realized interactive 3D version of the Penrose stairs? I don't think it works, right? The Penrose stairs is a perspective trick. So I don't know if you can do it. All right, about 4 minutes. Cut the cheer. Okay, well, so this is actually another cool thing about this line is that if I mess it up, I can also just like make it take a little longer. I can connect as many of them as I would like. Terrific. Wow. He's going to town on this. Alright, so we've got... What we're going to do is we're going to do this. Okay, form mesh. So... Alright, where the... Okay, where are we? Now this, the next one is this. And this, the next one is this. And now we're gonna connect the door. Where's the door? Game door, game door, game door. Come on, give me that. Game door. Sounds like a clothing brand. Welcome to Cheers. Cheers. That's the bar name. That's an easy one. I would say like, one day I'm gonna open a game dev themed bar. And I'm gonna call it Cheers, and it'll be where everybody knows your game. It's terrible. Right, so there's this one chain, so that's connecting up to the door. So what we should see, what I would ideally like to see with all this, of course, so this is not on an interlockable, so there should not be an opposite end. This, none. Yeah, Cheers is too easy. Where everyone knows your game. Tagline for the design critique. Yeah, that's not bad. Maybe there's a... I should watch Cheers. Okay, so this is kind of cool. So what we should see happening... So this is one test, right? So what we should see happen is that this door should get opened up. That's the ultimate test. Yeah, Monument did that, I think, but that's not quite what Demonic Salesman is asking for, right? Because it's interactive 3D. I think you want. I don't think it's possible in first person. I think it's actually a trick that's dependent on the projection. Like you can do that. There is actually a visual one, but it just has a. You walk around and there's just a gap. It's like it only works from one perspective. I mean, I could probably do one in Manifold Garden, but. I think, you know what, I think it's, let's do this test and then we'll get the coffee ready. I think it's been about 4 minutes. So what we want to happen here is, right, we've got that lit up. Okay. Now we're actually gonna rotate onto this. By the way, I love the color switch. It's so nice. Oh fuck. Okay. So right. It's because it's waiting for that thing to be on. It wants that thing to be on. It wants that thing to be on an interlockable. So. All right, and I'm going to get some milk. Is this gonna have multiplayer? No, no multiplayer. Hey, yes, the Zeroon, welcome. Mind-blowing gifts. Yes, it is being made in Unity. We are really trying to push the limits, though, of the tech. It's made with Unity and coffee and love. Mostly coffee. And welcome, Zeroon, by the way. And that blind archer, both of you, welcome. The Zeroon, did you just kind of stumble across the stream? How did you arrive here? Or like, did you kind of stumble this and you had heard of the game elsewhere? Yeah, unfortunately, multiplayer doesn't work for this game. I know, so it's my first game, so I don't want to get too caught up with. Trying to do too much. Yeah, like network stuff is very, very difficult. How do I decrease line? There we go. More. Sure. No, wait. I remember when it was named around this. Wow, you've been following the game for a while. You know, so Evergreen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are at the top of the creative section. Oh, cool! I am at the top of the creative section with the game dev tag. Awesome. Tears, yes. There have been some. Have there been tears? I don't know if there have been tears. I don't know if I've cried. It hasn't been that bad. That's awesome. Yeah, top. So, you know, I did think that way too about when they combine game dev and creative, but I think ultimately it's been good because it's a much bigger audience, you know, because Evergreen, so like now you have to go to the game dev channel and you just see game devs, but now when you like Twitch puts me on the front page of the creative channel, I end up seeing a lot of traffic, and it's you know, the creative channel is growing, so I think you had to actually get a much bigger audience. Maybe the way they do it with the tag system is not ideal, but you know, I think I came around. At first, I was like not a fan of it. Hey, the Zeroon, thank you for following. Really appreciate it. But yeah, Relativity, that's old. That's like well, a year ago. So the problem was that it had to be on an interlockable, otherwise it wasn't doing that. But I don't think it needs to be. So let's go ahead and check that out. Am I planning to have multiplayer when the game is finished? And if it does well, yeah, I've got I have some ideas for how it would work, but it would have to do very well. Evergreen 12345, thank you for the follow. Awesome, man. Zaroon, I really appreciate it. Thank you. Really appreciate the support, everyone, and thanks to all the new people for tuning in, and for all the regulars. And Deadbeat, thank you for the follow. All right, Lidzel, thanks for stopping by. It was good chatting, and Bashi CS, thank you for the follow. Right, you have fun. Have a good night. All right, so let's see this. This should work, and we should see that door light up. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. That's awesome. That is awesome. Yes. So this is kind of where now I think it will not work. Don't mention it. I'm beautiful. Oh, thank you. It's the hair. By the way, the reason why I have the long hair is because I'm not cutting it until the game is done. So I've been growing it for about. It's not brand new. I've actually had this for a long time, but just finally getting around to implementing it. So let me set up this test case. This is a little bit tricky. I haven't cut it for about I think like September 2013. I stopped cutting it. Yeah, so the plan was I would cut it when the game is done, so it's quite long now. Right, so this has been like 3 years of growing. But yeah, like I'm saying, it's such a great look. I don't normally wear it down though, because then it gets everywhere. But yeah, I do think it would be fitting to get a haircut once the game is done. Like, just keep growing it out every time I start a project, and then people will just be like, instead of people asking me how long I've been working off, instead of people asking me how long I've been working on the game, they'll just look at my hair. Shoulder length, yeah. I almost never wear it down. I'm gonna celebrate finishing the launch of the game with tons of gyro sandwiches and fancy pastries from our local bakery. That is quite a ways away. Although, you know, what's crazy is it's gonna happen sooner than you think. Like, so I'm finally looking into the details of setting up a Steam page. And it's kind of scary. So, like, here's what we're gonna do, right? So this is what's happening. Can UI explain the game's general idea? Yes. Give me 1 second. Let me line this up. So Deadbeat, I'm gonna assume you don't know much about it. And actually, probably this is a good time because we've been kind of in the midst of this. So let's see. It's like Inception meets Interstellar with MC Escher, and so this is a test level. So remember, it like doesn't look that great, and we're working on a new mechanic. So if you've seen that scene in Inception where they fold the city in half, that's what you can do. And it's fold the city in half and start walking walls. So on the very basic level, you have this ability to change gravity and walk on any surface. And there are puzzles. This is like a very late stage, and we're working on kind of this new mechanic with these wires. But in addition to the gravity rotation, when you fall off, there's not the world actually just repeats itself infinitely. So actually what's kind of cool is you can see here, I'm going to land on this block below, buying Fallout 4. So you can see these objects, or you can see that they're continuing, they loop forever. So I'm seeing all instances of it. I'm seeing it, like, I'm seeing 4 or 5 versions. I'm seeing it, not 4 or 5 versions of it. I'm seeing it 4 or 5 times, which is kind of cool. But anyway, and right now we're working on this new mechanic where you have the ability to kind of set up these wires. You're kind of working with these larger pieces and form them in different orientations. Right, so see I've got that door lit up. Now, this is actually not... it gets a little bit tricky with the details and the distance. Right, so like you can pick up boxes and do stuff with it. And now, right now you can see that's connecting. So is it truly infinite and big enough a box? I mean, what's truly infinite? You know what I mean? What is that question? It is all trickery. That's what game development is at the end of the day. Right, so right now we're not breaking it. So we need to work on breaking that, the connection. Certainly your mind is, yes. Okay, so see, this is where things start to get complicated. Does it actually instantiate copies of the level at runtime? No, it's all. It actually has multiple copies, but it's not done at runtime. It's actually done before. Right, Bob. It is. There are separate instances, but they're not instantiated at runtime. I mean, they're in the build. Right now it's instantiating inside the editor, but in the build they're not. Start small. Start off making Pong. And you'll get there. I mean, this was a project to learn Unity. I thought it would take 3 months. Here I am 2 years later. Cries. I should cry. You don't even need to go to school. You can just watch a bunch of Jonathan Blow videos. There, you made a game. Could I start dropping those gravity cubes from an edge and somehow start stacking them on top of each other? Not sure what you mean. No, it's not portal rendering. I know I am using portals for portals, but yeah, no, so that's render texture. No, we actually... So, I'll show you the secret. It's not actually... I'll show you the secret from... There, this is the scene view. So it's not actually infinite. It's a 5x5 grid, right? So it's 125, which is like Might as well, which is like pretty close to infinite. Yes. But yeah, it's straight up. So we actually just decided using. I mean, it still was hard to do. Don't. Now the magic is gone. Was there? Yeah, I live. There's a train right behind me. I live right next to a train line. Dude, 125 is a big number. You try rendering 125 times for every single object. Yeah. How long can one fall? Forever. You can fall forever. Except in our demo build, because it resets after half an hour. No, not half an hour. 90 seconds. But in the release build, you can fall forever. What the hell? No, it doesn't. The world repeats, so you just keep falling. Like there's no. I mean, you can you can Why did not? What the hell? I mean, you have air control, so you can land. Fair Lords, that's a pretty hard constraint on the detail level, isn't it? Which one are you talking about? Rain March? Like, you can land, you can move while you're falling. Yeah, I don't even notice. Like, I only notice when the train passed by when people in the chat point it out. Like, for the first month, I had a hard time, and then I don't. Oh, man, coffee plays drive-through right outside your window and hear everyone's orders. You're repositioned to the middle space once you hit an edge. Alright. You want to lose the magic? I will show you. I will show you guys what's happening. We have a box. And actually this is kind of cool. Here, watch this. Here's time to show off the tech. Don't right. That is the box you operate in. This is you. So now notice what's happening is your player. Let's see, let me jump off. The player is looping. You see that? But here's what's cool about our tech. I can change the size of this. Well, not at the watch. I can change the distance. I can make them come closer together. I can move that apart. I can create certain offsets in different directions. And all of these affect how the game looks like. Right? You see that I'm doing that all runtime. Do I have an LOD solution? Sort of. We have. There's no one size fits all actually for what we do. So any VR supported? No. Yeah, so no, I still do it. We have tricks, Raymar, so I try not to get too caught up. Like one thing you don't want to design, I don't like to design with all that in mind, right? Like I just design however I want the level to look. And then we're like, okay, it's running at 20 frames per second. What can we do to get it running well? So then we start cutting, right? So it's not, and that doesn't necessarily mean losing level of design because there's tricks. There's different tricks that we pull for different situations. If I do want lots of level of detail, I can have it, but maybe that means like sacrifices elsewhere. It's about having a balance. Yeah, it's like when people are like writers and directors, they say when you write, you shouldn't be thinking about directing because then you're like, oh man, maybe I don't want to put this scene because it's going to be such a nightmare to. I don't have to get the actors to do all this, and you shouldn't do that. I'm 580. No, 980, 970. GeForce GTX 970 or 980. Oh, dude, yes, please, that would be amazing. Thank you, Karana. That would be that's awesome. Yes, I really appreciate it. Thank you everyone for all the support. It's I know I say it a lot, but it really does mean a lot. So this is where things start to get very difficult, and what I want to do is I want to show you guys. Great thing is when the trick works that well that even knowing how it works you keep believing. I'm making this too easy. What is the lowest FPS I've ever gotten in one of the levels? I mean, like, some levels are so big I'll hit like 2 frames per second, but that's before I've gotten optimized it. I've gotten it optimized, but I think our biggest level right now, the level with the lowest performance, the worst performance is running at like 20 frames, is like 30 frames per second. Somewhere between 20 and 30 on the PS4, which I think is pretty good. Our opening level runs at 60 frames per second on the PS4, which is really fucking solid. And yeah, if you're enjoying the stream, you should definitely follow the channel. I'm also on Twitter. You know, I stream pretty regularly, pretty much like every weekday, 3 to 5. Do I worry about the reviewers who complain about the frame issues? But yeah, no, I'm definitely fixing the frame rate issues. It's not. I don't want to ship with that. Like that's not. I'm saying like this is a work in progress. We haven't shipped it. We haven't like fully optimized it. So what I'm saying is like we're in a good spot. Like our opening level runs at 60 frames per second. I would ideally like the whole game to run at that or be consistent. And yeah, I don't want there to be frame rate issues. So the Wii is me, but I got a programmer that's going to be starting. Yeah, they aren't done. They're designed. They're not even done with the design. It's got their first draft in. That's yeah. Yeah, they get designed. It's the royal Wii. So I like saying Wii. It feels kind of weird if I'm just like me. But yeah, I do have a programmer will be joining me, who will be starting in at the end of this month, which is good. I will be off. Yeah, they're not done. A lot of the game isn't done, but what those levels are, they're a good test of the size. So like, yes, the design isn't right in that they're like, okay, these stairs, and that room needs to get tweaked, but like, there's the number of objects in this scene is a very good sense of how big that level is going to be. I say we, us, are because of my girlfriend. Is your girlfriend working on your game with you? Or wait, Zeroon, did you say you're working on a game? What's yeah, how many people here are game developers, by the way? Me, as in Pixie Software, the studio. Optimize at the end, yeah. So oh shit, no, wait. Actually, this needs work. Hobby game developer. Hobby dev. Cool. And are you guys all using Unity? Hey, who is this? Lockixt. Thank you for the follow. Well, that's a good place to start. I tried making Snake in Unity and I couldn't do it. So, yeah, that's actually a really good game to start with. Thank you for the follow, Lockixt. Custom engine right now, wouldn't suggest it. Yeah, I still think that's a really good experience though. I would like to have a go at making a custom engine. You know, one thing I'm worried about with Unity is like 10 years from now, what if I want to re-release the game? Is that going to be a problem? Especially because we're building all our models inside Unity. So, but you know, how difficult is it going to be to port stuff? Oh, God. Oh. Ay, ay. No. That's exactly. I mean, I grew up playing Snake on the Nokia, which was just lines, right? It wasn't anything fancy, but I still think that's like a good. I mean, like that. I think that's a really good size. Do I recommend Pro Builder? Of course. I don't. If you're doing a 3D game, yes. I don't know how you would do. I'm not sure how else you would make a 3D game. I think it's, even if you don't build everything like the way I am, I still think it's really, really great for gray boxing. And you should definitely gray box. Dun, 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 dun. Those X. Oh yes, I know. I know. God, they're the worst. Wait, what the? Oh right, no, because that's supposed to be one. Yeah. God, they kill me. Oops. I totally fucked that one up. Oh yeah, then I would do for level design. Definitely do Pro Builder. Yes. The interesting thing is actually Unity is kind of not the best for making Snake. You'd have to learn like the 2D system, but so I tried to make Snake in Unity in 3D at first, and I couldn't figure it out. And I was like, actually pretty. It was like a bit of a blow. I was like, holy shit! Like, I can't even make a game as simple as Snake in this engine. And then it just turns out it's because the engine is not really set up, at least right away, without like the 2D pipeline for making a game like Snake. Because at first it's like, you're like, what the hell? How come I can't make Snake and yet I can make a first-person shooter in an hour? So yeah, Snake would be actually kind of tricky with Unity. You'd have to like you'd have to do all the 2D pipeline stuff first. All right. So I'm gonna end the stream soonish. It's kind of my shoulder needs a break. But before I do that, I want to kind of talk about why this is a little bit complicated now. So, right? So you can see here, we've got this piece. Move that out of the way. This is interesting, actually. This is very interesting because it's gonna fall in two directions. So, like, it's gonna start off here. This is actually very interesting because it's gonna start off here, but then you land and it hits that. But yeah, this is actually very, very interesting. So, but the gist of it too is that you see you can see this piece, right? So when it's connected here, it's lighting up. It's going this way. It's going from bottom to left to light up to pass the electricity to the door. But the problem here is that but it can also be used in the same spot to connect, to pass electricity from this square to that door, in which case the electricity is going from left to down. So it has like a bidirectionality to it, as like a piece of wire should. So anyway, that's where but I think we got it. My shoulder's kind of bothering me, so I'm gonna take a little break, stretch that out. But yeah, thank you guys for stopping by. I'm not gonna do a full raid, but I think, let me see who's streaming right now. I know Kyle Pulver looks like he's still. Oh. Let me see here. Anyway, we'll see. Got yeah. Let's stop by Kyle. We've come to his stream before, and Kyle is a really cool guy. He's another indie developer. I think Kyle is still streaming for a while, so let's all do down. See, sometimes these raids don't go so well, but yes, thank you guys all for stopping by today. Did this work? In before raid. Um, wow, Ray March. Awesome. Thank you, Clake69 and Evergreen. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. It's been wonderful having you all. Thank you for hanging out. We got lots of big news. Yeah, once the Sony stuff is confirmed, I'll share that with you. But it's super exciting, and I'm gonna get a Steam page set up. We're gonna be doing beta testing soon. We got a new programmer that's gonna be joining us, and yeah, I think we got this down. We're gonna be doing more level design, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow, 3 p.m., same time.